Hey, friends! Welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. Come join me, your host, Nicole, for some hope-filled conversations about heartfelt entertainment that makes your heart swing. Hey, Hallmarkies! Welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. I'm your host, Nicole, and today I'm very excited to welcome back for the third time one of my all-time favorite guests. She's a philanthropist, producer, writer, podcast host, and a true Hallmark powerhouse, having starred as the lead in more than 20 films across Hallmark's many channels. You've recently seen her opposite Warren Christie in Home Turf, now streaming on Hallmark Plus, and soon she'll be returning to her singing roots as the lead in a Grand Ole Opry Christmas alongside Kristoffer Polaha, premiering this Thanksgiving weekend, November 29th, on the Hallmark Channel. Please help me welcome the fabulous Nikki DeLoach.
Aw, thank you, Nicole. That was such a kind intro.
Of course,
So
it's so fun.
generous.
Yes, I'm very excited to have you back on.
Oh, well, I'm so happy to be here.
Yes,
Thank you for all the love and support
of
that you
course,
show our network and all of
of
us.
course. Anytime. As a part of this year's Countdown to Christmas, Hallmark is releasing a Grand Ole Opry Christmas where you portray a character named Gentry Woods. Without giving anything away, can you share more about the movie than what the trailer gives us and tease a favorite or memorable moment from filming?
Oh, gosh, there were so many favorite, memorable moments from this movie. It's hands down my favorite I've ever been a part of, which does a lot because I've been so lucky and blessed to be able to do, home turf was so fun. And then, you look back at Gift of Peace, which I felt was so necessary and important, talking about grief and 5 more minutes. So I feel that, and then obviously Curious Cater, how fun. So it says a lot that this is definitely my favorite movie, but it's because the Grand Ole Opry meant so much to me as a child. And being able to do a collaboration with them, it was honestly a dream come true. And the Opry did not disappoint. And the movie, first of all, favorite name I've ever had. Well, I would actually say Goldie Berry is a
Yeah.
close tie because I mean, come on, this is the best name. But Gentry, come on, it's such a good name. So I play Gentry, and she's a woman who always had ambitions and dreams of being a singer-songwriter, and the luck just never went her way. She had a pretty tough life, lost her dad when she was younger. Her dad was a huge country music artist, and through the magic of the Grand Ole Opry and the magic of Christmas, she's transported back in time to 1995 when her dad was alive. And you can almost imagine, especially for me as someone who lost my dad, to be able to go back in time and get any amount of time back, right? That's what 5 more minutes really was about. Is that character wishing that she could just have 5 more minutes with the person that she loved and lost. And so for me, the movie meant so much as a daughter that is reunited with a father. And with them being reunited, he really gives her the courage and faith and belief that maybe she's not past deserving of a second chance, and in her dreams and in her passions in her life. And so, that is really, without giving anything away, that's, kind of the premise of the movie. And in terms of memorable moments, I would say, you know, the time that we spent filming at the Opry,
Mhm.
from the moment you walk into that building, you can feel how sacred it is. 100 years of making dreams come true for artists. I'm wearing this shirt and that says, "There are artists among us,"
Oh,
because it is a very vulnerable, hard thing as an artist to just
mm,
keep pursuing that dream because, I think in our industry, I think there's 2% of us, or, or that make enough of money doing what we do to not have to have a second job, and, to be able to afford health insurance. So it's not easy to be an artist, and it's not easy to have that hope and dream and just keep pursuing it all the time. And so you can feel kind of the magic of walking into that building and so many artists who have stepped into that infamous circle on the stage of the Grand Ole Opry, and the tears. I've watched so many videos and seen so many moments of artists stepping into the circle for the first time and just breaking down. And for me, that happened. I luckily, when we were in prep, we went to tour the Opry, our director and producers and AD, and we all went and saw a show and we got to tour it. And I'm so glad that I had an opportunity to stand on that stage and in that circle before doing it in the movie, because I broke down in tears. And it was such an emotional, touching experience. And so, I highly suggest and recommend to anybody, even if you're not a fan of country music, go to the Opry, because there's cool things that you will learn when you're there. Like, they have these mailboxes. So for anyone who is a member of the Opry, they have mailboxes. You can send them fan letters, Christmas cards, whatever you want. And there's only 3 places that you can just write the name of the place without an address. And, our mail people know exactly where to send it: the North Pole, the White House, and the Grand Ole Opry. So if that doesn't tell you what a legendary place the Grand Ole Opry is, I don't know what does. And so it's really this beautiful, historic place. Everyone from the security guard to the management to the artist that grace that stage, they're so humble. They're so grateful to be there. They understand how important it is to maintain the history. And I find it to be I call it musical church. When you sit in the audience, you're sitting on actual church pews.
Yeah.
It's just so beautiful. Everybody go see it. Go take the tour. It's such a magical place.
Yes. Growing up, I've never been to the Opry. I would love a chance to visit there. But growing
Oh,
up,
do it.
listening to all the old country artists, this is
Yeah.
my most anticipated countdown to Christmas movie of the season.
Oh, I'm so excited. Well, it will not disappoint, Nicole. It
I
will
don't
not.
know.
I mean, when I say, so Allison, who is our head of music
Yes.
at Hallmark, I have to get a huge shout out to her because she stacked the deck. We have Brad Paisley, Mickey Guyton, Drew Baldridge, Writers in the Sky, Jamie Johnson, Megan Maroney. I'm sure I'm leaving some people out, and I'm apologies for doing that. Oh, Tiger Lily Gold. I mean, we have just an embarrassment of riches of country music artists in this movie. And I think Allison she just blew it out of the park. And so if you love music, especially if you love country music, your brain is going to explode watching this.
I know it will. I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Maggie Baugh,
Yes.
who I don't know if you've ever seen Maggie Baugh perform. She's the up and coming country music artist. Man, that girl wails on a guitar. Like,
Wow.
she is just so good. And so, yeah, you will see. And then it's multi-generational. We have Writers in the Sky, and then we have people that are around our age, and then we have the younger generation in terms of music. So I think Allison just did such a beautiful job of making sure there's something for everybody.
I know she did. So this film blends Hallmark warmth with country music legacy. What excited you most about bringing these two worlds together, and what element of the Opry's iconic atmosphere and musical culture inspired your character the most?
Oh, well, so the story in the movie is that my father, huge country music artist, he was a part of a duo. And his last performance that nobody knew why he walked away from music. And his last performance was on the Grand Ole Opry stage in 1995 at Christmas. And so when my character Gentry goes back in time, well, first of all, she's been asked to come and pay homage to her father for celebrating 100 years of the Grand Ole Opry. And so she's been asked to come and step into that circle and honor him. And she feels like she has no business stepping inside that circle because she has not earned it as an artist. And there is that feeling, and you can talk to the people at the Opry about it. It's a sacred circle. And you can do a tour and come and step on it as a fan, but if you're an artist, stepping into that circle means something very different. And Gentry understands that because she grew up watching her dad on that stage perform. And so for her specifically, she doesn't want to step into that circle until she feels like she has earned the right to step into that circle, which is part of going back into the past and reconnecting with her father. That is part of what helps her to come back into the present and really own her worth, you know? And you'll see that in the movie. And in terms of, the warmth, you said the country music and the warmth of like a holiday movie. I think this movie really just, it is a quintessential Hallmark movie.
Mm-hmm.
It has got the heart. It has got the humor, right? Of these,
Mm-hmm.
because Chris's character ends up coming back into the past with me, and we are having to essentially kind of go undercover so we don't get found out. And obviously, there's some humor that comes with that. It has got the connection with the past and her father, and the connection to all the romance of the present. It doesn't just take place at Christmas, it is about Christmas. And she's trying to solve the mystery of why her dad did step away from country music, because that was something she never knew, and nobody around her knows the answer to that. And so I just think that it just hits all the markers of like what makes a great Hallmark movie, Christmas movie. And then it just takes it to that next level because it is the Opry. We have all of these huge titans in country music. And, the story, the script itself. Hilty Bowen was the one who originally came up with the concept and wrote the first draft. And then Tracy Ann Dreen took it home for us. She's a brilliant writer that's done so many incredible movies at Hallmark. And the two of those women delivered a beautiful story, an incredible script. As a writer myself, starting with a great script, that is everything. So they set us up for success with this movie.
I love that, and I'm so excited. I think a Grand Ole Opry Christmas is going to be 2025's Biltmore Christmas. I'm not even
Oh my
joking.
gosh, from your lips to God's ears. And I will say, maybe Kristoffer Polaha is the key, right? I have to just say, Chris and I have been
Yeah,
dear, dear, dear friends since 2004 when we did our first TV show
that's right.
together called North Shore.
Yep,
And I've lived with his family at two points in my life. I
that's
was
awesome.
like the third person to hold his first child in the hospital in
Mm.
Hawaii. So, to watch Caleb grow up, I absolutely, I love him. I love his family. And I cannot say enough about how gifted he is as an artist.
He's
I
great.
just think he is one of our, not just at Hallmark, but he's such a talent.
Yes.
And we had never done a Hallmark movie together. So, for us to wait 10 years to be able to do a Hallmark movie together, man, did we get a great one.
Yes.
And he just knocks it out of the park. He's so great in this
Yes,
movie.
he is. I'm sure that he will kill it just like you.
Oh, he kills it. He
Yes,
does. Thank you.
of course. You shared before that music was a big part of your early career. How did it feel returning to your singing roots for this film, especially in a story set at the Grand Ole Opry?
Surprisingly joyful, liberating. Because when I was in the music business, I loved performing. It was the reason I got into the entertainment business in the first place, was to be a singer, dancer. My eyes were really more on like Broadway and doing that whenever I was a little girl. And then I got Mickey Mouse Club, and what a joy to be able to sing and dance every single day. And I came out of the music business with such a deep creative wound because, my band was signed to Lou Pearlman. We were 2 weeks away from releasing our album. We were in the top 40. We were on two of the biggest tours at that time, which was the NSYNC tour, the Britney tour, and on the precipice of blowing up. And Lou Pearlman went to prison for, his criminal activity, and we lost our record contract. And I don't blame RCA, they had to step away from him and for any of the acts that were connected to him at the time. And we had worked our butts off for 6 years to make that dream come to fruition, and to lose it in such an awful way was just such a heartbreak for me that took me a really long time to get over. And I just really stepped away from music. That was the creative wound, was losing something in my life that brought me so much joy. So having the opportunity to get back in vocal lessons and to get back into that space, it really reignited a passion that I've had since I was a little girl. And I'm going to continue my vocal lessons. I'm gonna see, like, I would love to go and do Broadway now. But even if nothing happens with it, right? I'm a big believer of this. Even if nothing comes of me singing again and doing that again, and it's just for the love of it, right? That is worth it. Because I think that we attach trying to capitalize on things that bring us joy. Like, how can I monetize this?
Yeah.
And I just believe that, if that comes from something that we do that brings us joy, great. If not, also great, because we should be waking up every day and doing the things that bring us joy, whether they bring us money or success, because life is too short. Do the things that bring you joy, whether that's dancing or painting or reading or, whatever it is. You get this one precious life.
Yeah, very true. And I'm so excited for you that you got that opportunity. And I'm
Thank you
looking forward,
so much, Nicole.
of course. Every Hallmark Christmas movie has that one scene that becomes the heart of it. Which scene in a Grand Ole Opry Christmas holds that spot for you? And what do you hope Hallmark fans feel when the credits roll?
That is such a hard question, because I'm just right now, I'm like playing out all the scenes in my head that I think were just so special in this movie. But maybe I'll talk about this one. It's, oh gosh, it's so hard to talk about it
I
without
know it's
giving away
hard.
anything. But there is a scene towards the end of the movie, and it is with my character Gentry, Chris's character Mac, and my father, who's played by Rob Mays,
Yes.
who is
Awesome. Right.
phenomenal in this movie. And we got so lucky with him, who is actually an artist himself, and
Yeah.
he has got beautiful music. Everybody go check his music out.
Mhm.
But there's a scene between the three of us. It is a scene between a daddy and a daughter, and also a scene between a man who had, Mac, Chris's character, who has loved this woman since they were children, and a woman who has loved this man since, they were children. And the love that shows up in that moment, it is a very emotional moment. In fact, a little behind the scenes, it's a very pivotal, meaningful scene, but we were really under the gun in terms of time and when we had to wrap that day. And we literally had maybe 20 minutes to get the entire scene, and that is nothing, right? Because you have to
Mhm.
get my coverage, you have to get the wide, you have to get my coverage, Chris's coverage, Rob's coverage, you have to get all of it. And so my character, we did one take for me, and it's the take that's in the movie. And it was so emotional for me to film, and it really has to answer the question of fate, and letting fate do what fate has to do, and trusting that. And also, the people that you have by your side when you have to do the hard things. And I think it's so much of the heart of this movie is the friendship and the love that is shared between the characters of Mac and Gentry, and how they show up for each other, and how they have since they were kids growing up next door to each other in Nashville. And then also a daughter's love for her father and the father's love for his daughter. And so, I popped to that scene in my head because that really is like, that tells you everything.
I love
Yeah.
that. Such a beautiful story, and I'm excited to see that scene. And not related to the movie, but I remember seeing a couple of days ago your post meeting James Taylor, and I'm not gonna lie, I even got emotional watching that.
It
I'm
was
so
so
happy
one
for
of
you that you got that
Oh,
opportunity.
Nicole, thank you so much. I cannot believe I'm so grateful to the Opry. I am so grateful to Shayna Julian, who's the head of events, to Annie Howe, who's the head of communications at our network. I don't know who and what we would be, Hallmark would be, without the two of them. The Opry had heard my story about my dad and specifically about James Taylor. And they approached Shayna and Annie and said, we would love to surprise Nikki and have her come and be a part of James Taylor's debut on the stage. And it just makes me so emotional thinking about it. But it shows you, it's such a testament to who these people are at the Opry and how they conduct their business and their daily lives with so much thoughtfulness and heart, and how they take care of their people, and also how Shayna and Annie take care of their people, which is the cast, all of us. And it is a night that I will never, ever, ever forget. I never thought in a million years that I would ever get to meet him. I mean, I grew every core memory, almost every one of them with my father. James Taylor is there from growing up as a little girl and picking peanuts in the farm and listening to James Taylor through the speakers of my dad's Jeep Wrangler, to dancing to You've Got a Friend, the daddy daughter dance at my wedding, to his funeral. We played James Taylor at his funeral. And so every that he was just the soundtrack of my relationship with my father. And I know he's probably heard it a million times, but he was so humble
Mm.
and so full of patience and grace as he just let me pour my soul and cry and hug him. And what a special, special man. They say, never meet your heroes, but man, did he
Mhm.
defy that saying, because he was everything and more that I had always hoped that he would be.
That's amazing. And he is fantastic. He's one of my favorite artists too.
Legend,
Yes,
legend, legend.
legend.
And he has this ability to write a song
Yep.
and make it feel like it's also your story.
Yeah.
He is just one of the best.
Yeah. Agreed. So let's talk a little bit about your recent fall into love movie, Home Turf, in which you reunited with Warren Christie. What was the most
Yes.
memorable moment behind the scenes? And is there a particular scene that was your favorite to film?
Oh, we had so many memorable moments. Just fun, 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 fun,
Right.
fun. So much fun. We laughed, we danced, we sang. I gotta give so much credit to McLean Nelson, who directed that movie. I had been wanting to work with McLean for such a long time. And finally, I got to work with him. And again, talk about didn't disappoint. That man is fantastic. And also, has become a good friend, and so much of a reason why that movie turned out is fun and great and funny as it was. What a blast. I feel like I have done two of my favorite movies that I've ever been able to be a part of this year in 2025, with Home Turf and A Grand Ole Opry Christmas. And my heart is so full and I am so grateful. Warren Christie, I mean, come on, not only is he a great actor, but I don't know if I've ever met a more handsome man in terms of co-stars. It's like, come on, buddy, you can't be prettier than me, but he is. Um, and he's such a good dude and such a great actor. I think one of the scenes that I had so much fun doing is the scene where I'm driving the go-kart or the golf cart, and I am just like bulldozing through that campus. I
Yeah.
love doing stunts. That was so much fun. The boys in the movie were so good and
Mhm.
also such great humans. And so we just got so lucky, Nicole.
Yes.
We became an instant family. We had the best time making it. All the behind the scenes, we did dance breaks. We had a piano in the dean's house. And so we were constantly like McLean was at the piano doing songs. We were singing. It was just a celebration every single day of a group of people that feel so grateful that we are getting to get paid doing the thing that we love to do, and let's make the most of it. Joy, 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 joy from start to finish.
I love that. And it was such a fun movie. Definitely one of my favorites of yours.
Thank you.
Of
Thank
course,
you.
yes.
Same. By the way, same. And,
Yeah.
before we go, because I know we have to wrap up,
Yeah.
I just want to talk really quick about the Benny bracelet.
Yes.
If you don't follow me, please follow me at Nick DeLoach. That's on Instagram, but also I'm on TikTok now. I've been on TikTok, but I've never posted anything. And then every time I've gotten on the app, I'm like, I have to do like this. So
Yes.
basically, I just follow Martha Stewart. And on TikTok, it's Nikki DeLoach. But
Yeah.
I came out with a collaboration to raise money for Children's Hospital Los Angeles. And the first collaboration is with the amazing women at Rain Jewelry. And this is called the Benny bracelet, named after my son, Bennett. It's
Beautiful.
a paper clip chain with a heart attached to it. It's a beautiful product. The price point is really great. The holidays are coming up. It is a great gift for your sister, your daughter, your mother, your grandmother, your niece, your friend. And, I am encouraging everybody to shop with purpose this holiday season. There are so many small businesses out there that have a great product. And I know it's so easy for everybody just to go on Amazon, but guess what? These small businesses need our help.
Yes.
And especially female entrepreneurs are out there doing incredible things. So the whole idea is small business, big heart, supporting supporting these businesses with an amazing product who are also giving back to, you know, Children's Hospital Los Angeles, which services all 50 states, 90 countries, one of the best hospitals in the country. They also saved my son's life. Almost 1 million kids go through that hospital a year. There's nothing more important than saving the life of a child. So the gratitude I would have if you went and purchased a Benny bracelet would be so immense. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk about it.
Of course, yes. I was actually going to ask you about that. And always love when the Hallmark actors, or even not Hallmark, they give back to the community in some way. That's
It
one of
is
my favorite
so
things.
important, right? We have got to be there for each other and
Yeah.
help each other because it's the only way we are going to get through all the hard that every
Mm.
single one of us is going to face at some point in time in our life. And also, honestly, it's so much better to live in a world that is filled with community and people showing up for each other than
Mhm.
it is to not have that. So let's
Yeah,
do that this holiday season
for
and
sure.
beyond.
Yes. So I have one more question before we
Yeah.
go. You are going to be on the Hallmark Channel float in this year's Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, which is an event that is such a hallmark of the holidays, no pun intended. What are you most looking forward to about that experience? And do you have any favorite Thanksgiving or parade traditions of your own that make it extra special for you?
Oh, well, I have watched the parade
Me
since I
too.
was a child. It's not Thanksgiving without the Macy's
No.
Thanksgiving Day Parade. And I remember, whenever I was a young kid, we would go to my grandfather's family's house for Thanksgiving. And I mean, he had, I think, like five, brothers, sisters. So it was like a huge family. It was the Thompson family Thanksgiving. Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade was always on this big giant screen.
Yeah.
So I've never known Thanksgiving without the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And what I mean, just talk about delightful, just delightful floats, performances,
Yes.
people in the streets of New York celebrating, being together in community. I actually had the opportunity to be on a float when I was in the music business and perform at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade
That's
when
so
I
cool.
was, another lifetime.
Yeah.
But what is going to make this one so special is Hallmark has been so kind to allow me to bring my children and my husband.
Mhm.
And so they're going to get to be a part of it. And I cannot wait for them to not just experience New York, during this time, because it's one of my favorite cities in the world, New York or bust. And but just to experience it in this magical, special way, they've told all their friends at school, Mom's gonna be on a float in the parade, and I'm gonna be on that float with two wildly talented but also incredible people. Drew Baldridge,
Oh,
what a love muffin. Oh my goodness. That man is so wonderful. And Mickey Guyton, what a talent, the
yes.
voice of an angel. And they also did the song, which is the 2025 Countdown to Christmas song of the season called Joy to Your World. And it is such a great, 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 great song. It's so beautiful and uplifting and happy. And so they're going to be performing that song. I'm going to be standing up there just,
Yeah.
waving and trying to bring some joy to the crowds and to your televisions. I'm so honored to be a part of it. I mean, just could not
Yeah.
I just could not be more grateful. Between the Opry and James Taylor and the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, I mean, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, I'm so excited for you, and I will definitely be watching as I do every year.
Oh, thank you, Nicole. Thank you so much. Thank
Oh,
you. And all I'll say
yeah.
is, you guys, I hope this holiday season, I hope our movies bring you joy.
Mm,
And I hope that they give you, a break from whatever it is that you're experiencing. And also, I hope that they, you know, bring more connection and more love and more peace and comfort to your life.
yes, and thank you so much for taking the time to come on. It's always fun chatting with you.
Always,
Yes,
always, Nicole. Thank you so much for
of
all you do
course.
for us.
I think that concludes my interview. Be sure to tune in to the premiere of A Grand Ole Opry Christmas on Saturday, November 29th at 7 Central on the Hallmark Channel. Bye, everyone.
Perfect. Bye.
All right, Hallmarkies, I think that concludes my interview with Nikki DeLoach. If you enjoyed this episode and are watching on YouTube, you can like this video and share what you are looking forward to most about A Grand Ole Opry Christmas in the comments. If you are listening on Spotify, make sure to rate and review, as your feedback is always greatly appreciated. If you want to stay up to date on all of my Christmas movie reviews and any interviews that might be upcoming, you can subscribe to this channel on YouTube and follow along on Spotify, and make sure to turn on the bell so you are alerted when those new episodes come. You can also find the podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Swing My Heart Podcast, and Twitter at Swing My Heart Pod. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Love y'all. Bye.